Working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry. The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Your child was embarrassed when you arrived at their basketball game. 75% of parents or guardians report current alcohol use. Drinking alcohol can cause harm to children and loved ones. By drinking less, your child will be excited to see you at their basketball game. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Hi, folks. Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the Chevrolet and GMC Truck Month is now underway. We've got huge savings in Louisville. Get $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months on select models. Yes, you heard right. That's $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months happening right now at Koppel. So take that short money saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit. Stock number G214773.
The Omaha Supernovas are back in action this Saturday, March 30th versus the Vegas Thrill at CHI Health Center in Omaha. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pearson and Renee Saunders starts at 5 p.m. with first serve at 6. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the Supernovas Radio Network.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations. Guess what?
What?
There's 5 Lincoln locations now. Oh my gosh. That's 25% more Lincoln locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside 93.7 The Ticket Studios, 1040 O Street.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies. It will be very mild. Afternoon high expected around 70. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with an overnight low around 35. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies return. A little cooler, though. See a high around 58. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for 3. You're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Here we go. Let's get it. Happy Friday, y'all.
Happy Friday, y'all. It is to some as well Good Friday. those who partake in Lent and, all the different things, to all of you who are celebrating Ramadan, all the things that you're celebrating on this week. And it's a beautiful day to do it. What a wonderful day it is outside. We're on the block right now, my guy Austin Orman, and he is representing the Dukies. About to jump it off tonight.
How about him? How about him?
Oh, boy.
Let's see
Here
it.
we go.
And the voice that you hear on the other side is none other than Kendall Warnock from A1 Automotive.
Yeah.
He is the one where I get my service done, where you should get your service done, right up the street, right here in downtown Lincoln.
Yeah.
Kendall, what up, man?
If you are a Duke fan, we're still going to service any vehicle. I paused there for a minute because I was going to try to say something different, but I hit pause on myself there.
You're a Carolina guy?
I am a Carolina guy, and I'm a little bit sour today. But again, everybody, my family certainly, and this dude next to me, obviously, everybody, we just love the game of basketball. So we love to watch and, see good basketball. And then, Carolina, I had them winning the championship, but my wife is a big Duke fan, so it's
house divided.
It's painful. It is painful, brother. It's painful. But again, hopefully she sees Duke win, and then that makes my home a little bit happier. So we're about to find out tonight.
Did she give you the business about it last night, or is she holding off?
No, I go to sleep so early. I barely made it to the end of it, but she's about to tee off.
She's gonna give it to you today, especially with a beautiful day.
Yeah. So we do need to. We do. It's a bucket list for us for sure. Is getting to that rivalry game down there in Chapel Hill or at Duke. But looking forward to that someday when we get the kiddos a little bit older and we're able to save a little bit of money, make that trip.
See, I know some other Carolina people, and it took a lot of restraint not to say anything. But here's the thing: I've learned over the years not to go in because Duke still plays tonight. The second I open my mouth and say something,
karma.
Houston just comes in and smacks Duke out of the place. So I know better than that.
Yeah. What do y'all think about that game tonight? I'm leaning towards Duke on that one, and I don't have a dog in the fight for sure.
I don't either, but I actually had them going out this round. That's just bracketology talk.
Sure.
Not that I even have a dog in the fight as well. I don't think I've ever been a Dookie fan ever since Leitner and all that group. I mean, I loved playing him in the league because I just wanted to. Yes, and even Grant, got a chance to get a face to face a couple times with Grant Hill, and those were always fun, getting a chance to beat them. But they were tough.
Yeah,
they were tough.
Yeah,
I've hated them way back then.
Again, I watched enough of that. I watched enough of those games, and again, I'm not an expert like you guys, but I just feel like Duke is in the right space to get them tonight. But again, Houston's their number one. I think they're the number one overall seed, right? No,
Purdue got it.
But UConn
got it.
Or
UConn got it.
Mm-hmm. But Houston's been right there all year, so we'll kind of see how that plays out tonight.
Yeah,
real quick, we just want to give thanks to Nebco Construction, Real Estate, as well as Recreation. We appreciate you guys for your continued support of On the Block. They are our resident sponsor.
NebcoInc.com.
NebcoInc.com.
Go check them out.
They'll take care of you as well, just like A1 Automotive does.
For sure.
That's a good plug. Sure. I appreciate that, man. Again, guys, it's always good to chop it up with you guys and be on here and it's just this place is full of really good people, and whenever I text Strick or any of the other guys, like, hey man, I got a little bit, I'm gonna pop in. I just want to talk sports. I want to chop it up with you guys, and just show y'all some love and vice versa.
So, do you have something you was gonna go? I was gonna throw something out to the group.
Throw them to him.
So, as you've watched this NCAA tournament, right? Some of the things that I've normally experienced, obviously the name in itself. When you hear March Madness, you just hear things like that happening on a resonant or a continuous basis.
Sure.
But what you're seeing, I think you're not necessarily seeing the crazy madness. I think some of the stuff that you're seeing is storylines developing.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So when you look at this, I think I was talking to Austin a couple days ago, and I said, this is the first time in a long time where you've actually seen 1-4s or 1-5s and 3-6s, and that in normally it's something crazy that's going on. Obviously, there's one. North Carolina State is the one right now that's kind of doing, making some noise.
Poor little North Carolina State. It's $100 million athletic budget. Poor little North Carolina State.
I think you're not seeing a true Cinderella this year,
right.
but you're you're seeing a cat from Oakland drop 10 threes on
Kentucky
in the first round, and then probably sign a nil deals the rest of the night because he had some to sign. You know what I mean? But not the true, hey, 15's getting a 2, and you know, they were underdogs, but they were 30-point underdogs. So you're not seeing that, but you are seeing some storylines for sure. Yeah.
This might be a weird question. If you had to compare the top 3 seeds remaining in the NCAA tournament, so UConn, Purdue, and Houston, 2 cars. What type of car is UConn? What type of car is Purdue? What type of car is Houston?
That Austin,
How about that?
you are putting me on the block, the spot, both. I gotta be honest with you guys. I got to be straight with you guys. I'm not I haven't been a huge Purdue fan. So I'm just not. Edie's a good player. He's 7-7, whatever the height he is. But I would consider. I'd throw them in the minivan. I'm just not a huge fan. I'm not a huge, and there's no disrespect to Purdue at all. And whoever's listening and whoever the fans are at Purdue, please don't hate me for that. But I'm just not a huge fan. So I'd throw a Chrysler minivan at Purdue.
Workmanlike gets the job done.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you for helping me out with that analogy, Austin. And then if you get into Houston, I'd throw them in that Audi space. You know, just a workmanlike fine automobile that knows how to check all the boxes and doesn't take you for a ride financially in terms of repairs. And then who else we got? UConn.
Overall number 1 seed.
Boy, UConn, and you got to go with like a Jaguar, you know, or a Porsche. I mean, they just check a lot of the boxes. They're fundamentally sound. They have a great defense. You know, their scores, they got a couple of scores. I think one of those guys, you know, there's a 0-star and he's turned into a star. So again, I would throw them in that high-end Euro space in terms of a vehicle. So,
8462 on our text line says they would compare UConn to a Caddy.
Okay.
Purdue to a Buick, and Houston to a Volkswagen.
Oh, wow. Now, the Houston Volkswagen is kind of funny. Real quick, what is your social media tags, especially on Twitter? We want the fans and the listeners to be able to know.
So again, we only run with Instagram and Facebook. So Instagram is A1 Auto Lincoln, the handle at, and then on Facebook it's just A1 Automotive. And again, we're always grateful to be in this community, being able to provide service and obviously be associated with a ticket here too.
Well, real quick, go. What you think about Houston being a Volkswagen? That's crazy, isn't it?
That's a reach. That's a reach for me. I do like what was the Kansas City Buick with Purdue?
Yeah.
I'm good with that. Good with that.
Can I give my thoughts on it? You ready?
Yeah.
Jaguar.
Yeah.
For Houston.
Yeah.
Here's why.
I'm okay with it.
You got Cougar, you got Jaguar, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Here's why I say that. The Jaguar is a piece that you like to have early on in the process, because as you get later, it is a maintenance nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, you get
about 10 years down. 10 years, that thing is a freaking maintenance electrical nightmare.
You get to 80K, you're about to start spending some money, man. For sure.
That's what I'm saying. They run well early, but god dang it, boy, they'll break down on you late. That's the way I see it.
And then it's $2,000 every time you come in, for sure.
And tires.
Yeah.
So when I look at Houston, I see a pickup truck. It's workmanlike, it's dependable, it's tough, but they don't have a lot of depth. Just like trucks don't get a lot of gas mileage.
Ooh,
so
okay.
I feel a pickup truck for Houston. Purdue, what's a boom or bust car? Like it can either
Pinto.
That's a bust. Right?
That's a Pinto.
Are you throwing it back to a Ford Pinto?
So no, the last
Purdue's
few
cars
years,
are Ford Pintos.
The last few years, I had them going out early.
Yeah.
I picked it early, and they went with, but god darn it, I went with them this year. I got them going deep.
Well,
Paul.
Here we go.
Yeah. So what you think?
I'm okay with that. What was the other one?
I said a Pinto.
Pinto.
No, I don't believe it's a Pinto. I think to me, I would say they're more like a Jeep.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'd go with that.
A Jeep. I mean, it's a little rugged, some roughness to it. But it might not go the long haul for you.
Yeah.
A little airy. Sometimes, you hear the road noise. It ain't really gonna, it ain't gonna be a smooth, quiet.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be bumpy.
Yeah.
I don't know the perfect car for Yukon. I love what you guys have thrown out there, but
Yeah.
I see Yukon as like a kind of a mid-size SUV sort of, because they're versatile.
And
They go
dependable.
independable.
Super
They
dependable.
go inside with Klingon.
CRV.
They can,
Yeah.
you know, RAV4, something like that.
RAV4.
You know,
Yeah.
they have guard play. They have some
Yep.
wings.
Yep.
They can get the job done in all sorts of different circumstances.
Yeah.
But they're luxury too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mercedes SUV? Does that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a reach for me.
Boo.
But
Okay.
that's a little bit of a reach for me. It's a little bit of a reach for me. But again, the workman-like, dependable, Yukon, Houston, I think they could both kind of mirror each other, but I'm still going with minivan on that Purdue. So I'm just not there yet.
A man named Ashley is with you, says, so Yukon is picking up all the ladies in the Porsche while Purdue is driving the seven screaming kids to practice in the minivan.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay
Seven
with that.
screaming kids. I love it.
That's a
You
low.
guys are awesome
That
on the
is a
text
low,
line.
so.
Sauter Haven text line is always open for you to join into this wonderful conversation
Great.
that we're having here. 402-464-5685.
Pairing Purdue to a minivan. Great. Let's do it.
Well, we're talking about teams, Kendall.
Yeah.
Tell us about your team, the work they do every day.
Well, we work on minivans. We work on Dodge minivans, and we work on
Hyundai Genesis.
We work on
I love the work that you
Hyundais
do online.
with Strick and
Yeah.
everybody in this building. Obviously, we care for all of you guys and what you drive too. But we're all makes, all models. So we work on Porsches to Audis to Jaguars to Dodge, Chevys, and anything and everything in between. And we take a lot of pride in that. We search out if there's training, and if I got to put somebody on a bird to go get training in Chicago for Porsches and or any place in Nashville and Texas this month, we're taking and sending a guy down. So it's we take a lot of pride in being able to accomplish all of that and in an independent space. And we work on a ton of Rovers too. So in Hondas, it just all makes, all models. We're really proficient and efficient with all of them.
And it's a family.
Yeah,
It really
Yeah.
is. I love.
Yeah.
I mean, your guys, they
Yeah.
stay with you. They
Yeah.
stick with you.
Yeah.
So it's like a family atmosphere.
And again, that's our standard,
Yeah.
right? I talk a lot about standards and how we treat each other, how we treat the community, how we give back, and how we provide customer service to everybody. So again, it's just we're just super. Like I say it a lot. Like I try to stay in a steady state of gratitude all the time, because it's just we're blessed to be able to be in an industry that we love and care for people in that space and provide service.
Also, if you have the opportunity to go down there, if you do have a need, doesn't matter what it is, oil change, tune up, changing of tires, the whole nine, they do it. But listen, they also have got good loaner cars.
Yeah.
A good solid point. Now you want to try to set it up now. Just like anywhere else you go, you want to try to set it up, because they do have a good set of loaner cars that they're able to provide for you as well.
Yeah. You know what? And I take a lot of pride in that as well. So we do have 8 loaner cars, everything. We have Chevrolets, we have a Rover, we have a Porsche, we have Tesla and some Chevys and Fords too. But again, we want to provide that. We want to take that level of concern out of the equation when we're providing service to somebody, especially if we have to wait on parts. So Austin, if we're waiting for 2 days for parts, we don't charge you. Respectfully, we don't charge you anything to allow you to take one of our cars, go on with your busy life, or take your kids to take the 7 screaming kids to practice, and then come on back and pick up your car when we get it done. So again, a lot of trial and error. Been in this industry a long time, but I love it. I love the community and just love the work that the team is doing. And again, it's all about the team for sure.
Always honest answers. And, I think from what I've heard Stricky talking about, like, y'all are upfront with him, you know, about what the issue is, what the issue isn't. And I know, other places that I've gone, I don't know anything about cars. I try to be trusting. People are the experts. I'll take their word for it.
Yeah.
But people can sell me a bill of goods and I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So that's where I think your reputation precedes you.
And one of our 6 core values is integrity. It's easy to throw integrity in your core values because everybody loves to hear that. But what we do is, and I hire and retain off of integrity. On the back door of our shop, we are, when the techs walk out to grab a vehicle, there's a sign, an integrity sign above the back door. And the reason I like to see that there, and I put it there specifically, is because when those guys are walking out, or gal is walking out to get that vehicle to service, the last thing I want them to see before they're getting into that car is one of our core values, which is integrity. So, okay, here's why it's here. Let's get that diagnosed and allow the customer to understand kind of what we're up against and what they're up against. And then you provide that level of, okay, this is what you may need, Austin, right now. Okay, but this is what you can wait. You can wait 6 months to do this, or you can wait next spring to do this. You don't have to do that. And we've probably grown slowly because of how we treat people in the always honest answers motto.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm okay with that because it allows me to feel good about myself, feel good about the level of service that we provide, and then just being active in the community and just preaching and preaching integrity and preaching how we do things. So it's been good.
It's incredible. It shows through. One last thing from Chubby Rhino on the text line. Purdue is a limo. Cool in theory, but you leave disappointed.
Yeah,
Are you a limo guy?
I'm not a limo guy, but I'm rolling with him though, because I think if Edie doesn't get 25 and 15, they're in trouble. Again, that's my perspective. Limo, minivan,
Stricky's a limo guy. You look at him. High life, luxury, sipping in the bag, couple honeys on either side. We know about you and your limo,
I agree with him what he said though. The limo is what it is. I mean, it's cool. It looks fresh, but I mean, it really doesn't provide the thing that I'd much rather just jump in the car myself, roll out. Now, if I'm, having a sexy night on the town, maybe a Maybach,
sipping the deep red.
But it ain't gonna be no minivan. It ain't gonna be no minivan.
That's incredible. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive. Thanks for popping down. So good to see you. You know you're more than welcome anytime, right?
Thank you so much, guys. Always good to see you guys. Thank you.
Amen to that. Kendall Warnock, Erick Strickland, Austin Norman. This is On the Block. More of the show next.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Are you in the market for a new garage door or need to repair your old one? It's wintertime, and that means snow, wind, and freezing temperatures, all things that can cause sticky locks and damage to your garage door. If you're experiencing any issues with your commercial or residential garage door during the winter months, call Cameron Hall and his team at Doors Plus. Don't be trapped outside in the cold because of a poorly maintained garage door. Call Doors Plus today at 402-590-5800 or visit them online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
The Omaha Supernovas are back in action this Saturday, March 30th versus the Vegas Thrill at CHI Health Center in Omaha. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pearson and Renee Saunders starts at 5 p.m. with first serve at 6. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the Supernovas Radio Network.
How do people feel about getting Big Fitness Energy at Planet Fitness for $1 down and $10 a month? They feel as thrilled as a kid the first summer they're tall enough to ride the roller coaster! That's right. When you join Planet Fitness right now, you'll get access to tons of equipment and free fitness training in a clean and spacious club. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today for that all-day energy. Download the free Planet Fitness app and join today for $1 down, $10 a month.
Deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
The Stars are home this weekend for a pair of pivotal Western Conference games. It all begins on Friday night as the Sioux Falls Stampede come to town for a 7:05 p.m. puck drop. Don't miss Down Syndrome Night the next day on Saturday, with the action getting started at 6:05. Haven't been out to a Stars game yet this season? Don't miss out, because only 3 weeks are left in the regular season. Tickets are available at LincolnStars.com.
If you're looking for a pre-owned tractor to upgrade your operation this year, you'll find a wide selection at your local Landmark Implement. We'll work with you to find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. During the month of March, choose from a 6-month interest waiver or 4.5% fixed rate for up to 60 months on used 6M and R, 7R, 8R, or 9R tractors with approved credit. Visit landmarkimp.com to see our complete inventory or stop by your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here in the heart of the Midwest, the call of the wild meets the passion for conservation. At Nebraska Game and Parks, we're not just preserving nature, we are shaping its future. Work in our state parks or as a biologist, accountant, conservation officer, or a variety of other roles. And come work where you love to play. You can make a difference for Nebraskans and for our state's wildlife and wild places. Apply today at outdoornebraska.gov. Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big thanks to our guy, our boy, not just your boy, not just my boy, our boy, Kendall Warnock of A1 Automotive for stopping in to the show. He's always welcome. Great guy. Check him out down on 11th and N, I believe, is where A1 Automotive is. Really appreciate Kendall for everything he does for the station and being a friend of the program. Let's take a look at the Sweet 16. Before we get into last night's games here, Strick, I want to throw this out there.
What up?
On the women's side, Oregon State leads Notre Dame by 1 at half. It's 32-31 Beavers. Oregon State shooting 58% from the floor in the first half, holding Notre Dame to 36% shooting.
This will be a huge upset.
It would be. Stricky, what do you consider to be a good percentage of made field goals that are assisted?
65-70%. I like that number.
Okay.
That means the ball's moving. That means it's not getting stuck and stagnant. That means you're probably getting some good transition opportunities. I would like to have the ratio be you get maybe 8 to 10 transition opportunity buckets. That means you're pushing, whether it be a push probe situation where you're push and you kind of just probe the situation, not necessarily get into an offensive set, but you're able to find somebody either with a trail or a drag situation and get to the bucket. And then good offensive sets, maybe a couple out of the inbounds situations. And so I like that number to be in 60 to 75 range.
So right now against Notre Dame, Oregon State has assisted on 12 of its 15 made field goals. That's 80%. Huge. That's really good.
That's really good.
Tricky. We didn't make a big enough deal of this because I was gone on Monday. I forgot to bring it up. Oregon State against Nebraska made 22 shots. Guess how many of them were assisted?
8.
21.
Oh, my.
21 of 22 field goals for Oregon State were assisted in their win over Nebraska. That's a 95% assist rate. That's unheard of.
But that's beautiful. See, that's the thing that I don't know if people understand on the other side of things, right? Good teams, more talented teams, especially at the women's side of the game, they're gonna score. You got your Caitlin Clark, you got your Juju Watkins, you got those type of players that are just elite, and they're just there's just really not much you can do with them. They're going to score. They're either going to draw. They're going to find people. So they're going to get buckets. When you get the opportunity to stop them, you can't give up extra possessions because they're just too good.
One and done.
You've got to just really be able to be fundamental on that aspect of it. But then on the other side, they're going to be pretty skilled, good footwork. They're probably going to be pretty good defensively as well. That's why they win at a high clip the way that they do. So you've got to really work them. You've got to force them to defend. You got to force them to chase. You can't just come down, take quick shots. You can't come down and just one pass, one shot. You want to work them similar to what Princeton used to do to people, but not necessarily that style. You understand? Where they just kind of would work you, make you defend, and then you get frustrated and you get tired. That's what I think was where their success is coming from right now. If they continue that, they're going to be a dangerous team. Because that's a super high number, Austin, as far as in assist numbers.
It's insane.
Ratio.
I've never seen a 95% assist rate in my life.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
It's crazy. Again, 32-31, Oregon State leads Notre Dame. And hey, I'll give your boy Andy Markowski credit. He called his shot. He said he wouldn't be surprised, and he would even pick Oregon State to beat Notre Dame.
Wow.
They're on pace. So
they're on pace.
Andy Markowski, listen to the man.
Yeah, man. Andy Markowski knows his basketball, and he's been around the women's game a lot. As far as raising his, his girls and coaching them as well. And he's around it enough to know what he sees, especially in that space. And so, take into account his words when he makes that statement, because he's one who's worked his tail off. He's one who's wasn't necessarily the highest leaping, jumping, most athletic guy, but boy, he can still go get a bucket. He can go get a rebound. He can bang with the best of them, and he would put you in the rim too. So I loved Andy Markowski and his game and his heart and his hustle, and he continued to just do that for us in practice and made us better.
Taller than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah,
I knew he wasn't short, but he was taller than I thought.
Yeah, he's approaching 6'9". Yeah, 6'8", 6'9". Yeah.
Let's take a look at the men's Sweet 16. 402-464-5685. Which was your favorite Sweet 16 game last night? Let us know. We'll see which game gets the most votes. Let's go through the boring game first here, Strick. UConn and San Diego State. A 30-point romp for the defending champion Huskies. They only led it by 9 at the half. San Diego State had a couple chances to get over the hump, but missed shots that would have made it a one-possession game.
Overwhelmed.
Cam Spencer hits the 3 at the end of the first half. And then the floodgates open. You mentioned that word overwhelm. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, just overwhelmed. I mean, they were just, there's not really much to talk about on that one. They were just too strong. I mean, they are who they were. They did what they were supposed to do. Their defense was phenomenal. They dominated on the offensive glass, the defensive glass, all the way around. And, they used, their backcourt of Cam Spencer and Tristan Newton. They did a wonderful job, both on the offensive side. Castle played very well also, and they led 53-39. And as the Aztecs continue to struggle, they just opened up the can of the whoopee cushion. I had to say it that way. You if you know what I'm saying. That's what happened. And shout out to them. They got it done. They did what they were supposed to. That's what top teams are supposed to do.
Took care of business in last year's national
championship.
Don't
play with it. Don't play with it. That's like your parents used to tell you when you were young. Don't play with your food, son or daughter. Don't play with your food. Eat your food.
On the fork in the mouth.
Yeah. And if you don't get the dessert. You don't get the TV. You don't get see the kids today. They get it. They just get it. Okay.
Soft.
Well, here, go get the iPad. Go in the room. Just be quiet. It's soft
right.
TT. Yeah. Yeah, when we got into trouble, we didn't get no TV. We had to go sit down somewhere and read a book. But let's get back to
rough. 402-464-5685. We've got Omaha Supernovas tickets to give away. First 3 people in with the correct answer to this question. How many 3-pointers did Caleb Love and RJ Davis combine to miss last night? 402-464-5685. How many combined 3-pointers did RJ Davis and Caleb Love combine to miss last night?
50 to 28 rebound edge, bro.
That's
I mean, you have no chance.
No.
50 to that. I mean, just think about it. Nebraska was 40 to something like that. not too far off against Texas A&M. So that's just tough. When you've got a team that's that good, you can't do it. You just can't do it.
No. Augie says Clemson versus Arizona was the only decent game. Strong disagree, but let's talk Clemson, Arizona.
Strong disagree. That Alabama game, I thought was that was one of the best games.
We'll get to that one in just a sec. I don't have nearly as much to say on Clemson and Arizona. Good for Clemson. They had top 10 predictive metrics in the non-conference, beat Boise State, a solid UAB team, beat TCU, beat Alabama, funny enough, early in the year. So Clemson was a top 10 team, or borderline, deservedly so. And then they got kind of drugged down into the muck, into the morass during conference play. But man, Clemson's been on a run, despite PJ Hall getting in foul trouble, probably their best player. Chase Hunter's been kind of ineffective. Strick, I thought this year was going to be different from Arizona. I'm a sucker. I took the bait.
I didn't, man.
They got Caleb Love.
I didn't.
Who Caleb loved last night. At one point, he was 0 for his first 5.
That's what he does.
That's what he does. Jaden Bradley from San Diego State, I thought was going to be a difference maker. Kashad Johnson, maybe. Butler was a beast, but also sucked at the free throw line. Won for his first 7 at the free throw line. I thought this was new year, new Arizona, but guess what, Stricky? I'm done. You're smart.
Listen, I felt it. I knew it pretty much from the beginning that this Arizona team was going to do what they do. The Arizona to me is like the Cowboys. They build you up to break your heart, and you can say that about a few other teams, but you say that about Purdue. But for some reason, I don't know, the light switched on for me, and we'll see what they do tonight. We'll see how far they really go. But yeah, Caleb Love, I knew he's who he is. I mean, he can either shoot you in or shoot you out of a game, and when you get off to that kind of start, it's not easy to recover.
I'm trying to find the exact number here. I believe
as far as their shooting.
No, regarding Arizona and tournament history. Because Stricky, we talk about how rough it's been for Purdue, for example, even Virginia to some degree. I'm scrolling back trying to find the tweet here. I believe it's now 6 straight NCAA tournaments that Arizona. Yeah, okay, here we go. Since NCAA tournament seeding began in 1979, only one program has been eliminated in 6 straight tournament appearances by a team seeded at least 4 spots below them. Arizona.
Yeah.
That's insane. 6 tournaments in a row, they've been legitimately upset.
2 seed, 1 seed, didn't make the tournament, 4 seed, 2 seed, 6 seed, 2 seed, 1. They always get the benefit of the doubt. And boy, I tell you, for a long time, it was Sean Miller, but now it's Tommy Laurie. He's starting to take over. But you're right. Lost in, it goes all the way back to let's just go 10 years back. 213, 214, lost in the semi-regional, same one they just lost in the regional as a number 1 seed, lost in the regional as a number 1 seed, lost in the first round as a 6, lost in the regional again as a 2. That's 3 times they've been a 2 that they've lost in the regional and in the first round. And then in 2022, they're a number 1 seed and they just get to the regional semifinals. That's what they've been. They've been true to form. I don't know if Pac-10 basketball, to me, sometimes kind of have this softness about them where they get in the tournament play. Now, you can say the same thing about the Big Ten. Big Ten has a physicalness about them, but it doesn't translate in tournament play because of the style, the slowdown, the execution part of it, but they don't have those game changers, which is a surprise to me why AJ Storr is now in the transfer portal again. I'm like, what the freak is going on?
If he does end up transferring to another school, it will be 7 consecutive years he'll be at a new school.
This is crazy.
7 straight years at a new school.
Yeah,
I'm all for trying to find the best fit, but 7 and 7, Stricky, that feels like overkill.
That's what makes me sick about the transfer portal. That right there is the thing that says there needs to be some reins put on the transfer portal. I think it's crazy. That's crazy. It should be a number to where you just finally say, hey, bro, sit down somewhere and chill out. It's crazy.
Stick a pin in that transfer portal thought, because that's how we're going to wrap up hour 1. Let's just very quickly touch on the other 2 games last night. We'll start with Illinois and Iowa State. Iowa State was all out of rhythm, playing flustered, playing way too fast at the beginning. They found their way back in the game.
Yeah,
Terrence
multiple
Shannon
runs.
Jr. had 4 fouls. Iowa State made a bit of a run, but there was always an answer for Illinois. I wasn't sure Illinois could take all those punches, especially if the officiating changed. Right. Huge credit to Illinois for taking all those punches.
No question. And listen, there's a lot of firsts where you're talking 18 years, 20 years that teams like Illinois haven't been this far. Like they've been stifled. You know, it's been since 2005 since they've even been back to the Final Four, in which they lost that in the championship game to North Carolina. So there's a lot of teams that it's been the first time in a long time that they haven't been back to or been to a Sweet 16. That's, I think, a beautiful thing about this tournament. You know, there's a lot of firsts, a lot of teams that, you know, one, probably people didn't expect to get that deep, and they're making that type of run. Shout out to Alabama. They're one of those.
Alabama and Clemson, whoever wins that game makes their first Final Four.
Yeah, there it is. So, yeah, man, Terrence Shannon Jr. once again is leading him. And look, we don't know what the outcome is going to be. The alleged situation that he had to deal with is why the suspension happened. We don't know what the outcome of that's going to be. You hope for both parties, whatever the matter is, they get justice in the matter. At the same time, it's went through the process, but I want to give kudos for him dealing with the adversity of that. To be able to still have that kind of weight on you, because it's not going anywhere.
No.
There's still weight on that. Like that's a testament to just being able to shield, guard, compartmentalize your mind and stay focused in the moment, stay focused in the task. So, I mean, say what you will about whatever the situation is. I'm still talking about somebody who has to deal with adversity and still fight. A lot of you out there that go to work every day, a lot of you may have things that you're dealing with, a loss of a loved one, a loss of a family member, a loss of a divorce or whatever the case. That's weight that you got to carry into the job with you, but yet you still go to work and get the job done. So shout out to all of you that do that as well.
Absolutely. The final game then was Alabama and North Carolina. 89-87, the Crimson Tide take down the Tar Heels. Carolina led by 8 at half. Put up 54 points, only 33 in the second half. And Strick, this is an Alabama team not known for its defense, but you look at the role a guy like Grant Nelson played late in that game. North Dakota State transfer.
Yeah, and played bad the first couple games.
Oh,
like
he
7
was
point
rough.
brutal.
Come on. Stepped up in the biggest moment for his team.
Yeah.
Again, here's another tweet I'm trying to find about just how stellar his performance was. So 20 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, 5 plus blocks, made 10 free throws, shot 60% overall, and shot 100% from 3. Grant Nelson is the only player in the last 25 seasons in the NBA, WNBA, Division I men's, Division I women's to put up those numbers. And he did it to get his team on the verge of their first Final Four in history. Talk about stepping up at the right time and finding the best time to play your best game.
I agree. And again, this is why you hope that your organization, your team, your program is able to find gems like that. This is why guys like St. Thomas, guys like William Cottle Jr., you know, this is what you hope, that if you do your research, you do your studies, that although someone like him could have went into the tank, could have shied from the moment, could have bowed out stage left, that young man said, no, it is a moment. Let's kick this door in and break through, because it's here for me. You know what I mean? I feel bad for is Latrell Rice-Hill Jr.
Yeah.
Because he's still an integral part of that team. And the concussion is not allowing him to partake in it. I can only imagine how frustrating it is for a young man that has to go through that. But at the same time, you're hoping that this team is able to take that moment, not get overly, big-headed and blown up about what they just accomplished, because the task is still not done. And that you go back, go to work, you got a whole week, put in the time, do the scouting, and focus on the task, and let's see how far we can take it. I actually got them going, I think, to the I don't got them going to the finals, but I got them in Final Four.
That's one more win.
One more.
They're on the doorstep. We have the right answer for the number of combined missed threes for Caleb Love and RJ Davis. It's 18. They combined to go 0 for 9 and 0 for 9 in the same arena in back-to-back games between the two of them.
It's bad for Davis.
That's pretty
because
rough.
Especially if you were looking to bounce out and make your move to the next level, it's Janet Jackson time. It's what have you done for me lately? Like all that you've done during this, like, they take that into account, man. They take that into account, what you're able to do at the biggest stage. Now, that's not going to probably spurn him or his opportunity. He's still going to get it. But if you had, desires to find yourself jumping in and making a splash at the next level at the draft or whatever the case may be, those type of performances could hurt and hinder you because there was great expectation on North Carolina.
There was.
Yeah.
Too bad they were led by career losers RJ Davis and Armando Bacot. 7587, give us your name and your email on the text line. 4 more Supernovas tickets up for grabs for the first person in to answer this question. Where did Grant Nelson go to high school? What's the name of his high school? 402-464-5685. We'll wrap up with a short transfer portal discussion next.
The Stars are home this weekend for a pair of pivotal Western Conference games. It all begins on Friday night as the Sioux Falls Stampede come to town for a 7:05 p.m. puck drop. Don't miss Down Syndrome Night the next day on Saturday with the action getting started at 6:05. Haven't been out to a Stars game yet this season? Don't miss out because only 3 weeks are left in the regular season. Tickets are available at LincolnStars.com.
Breathe easier inside your home with Bryant. Eliminate allergens and odors and control humidity too. For a breath of fresh air, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Mosaic is a nonprofit, whole-person healthcare organization that embraces God's call and relentlessly pursues opportunities that empower people with diverse needs to live their best lives. Mosaic in Southeast Nebraska, serving Lincoln and Beatrice, would like to invite you to their monthly Discover the Possibilities tour events. Events are held on the third Wednesday of every month and are a great way to understand Mosaic's mission. To RSVP, please contact Melindy at 402-429-0088 or visit mosaicinfo.org/Southeast Nebraska.
Hi, folks. Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the Chevrolet and GMC Truck Month is now underway. We've got huge savings in Louisville. Get $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months on select models. Yes, you heard right. That's $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months happening right now at Koppel. So take that short money saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit. Stock number G214773.
High schoolers, unleash your creativity and learn about potential careers in broadcasting at the Digital Expressions Media Camp. Have fun, make friends, and get hands-on experience with video and radio production June 9th through the 14th at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Scholarships are available from the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and spots are limited. Learn more at digitalexpressionscamp.com. That's digitalexpressionscamp.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies. It will be very mild, afternoon high expected around 70. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with an overnight low around 35. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies return. A little cooler, though. We'll see a high around 58. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clutcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular price athletic shoes with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. And don't forget, Browns carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Putting a bow on hour one of On the Block. I'm Austin Norman. He's Erick Strickland. Strick, you brought up the transfer portal, especially as it related to AJ Storr, who declared for the NBA draft, but did maintain his college eligibility and said he's hitting the portal if he decides not to enter the NBA draft. So some interesting news on that front today. James Madison lost its head coach, hired the head coach from Morehead State, whose name is Preston Spradlin. In Spradlin's contract with Morehead State, there's this clause that is fascinating to me. If Spradlin chooses to leave employment at Morehead University while currently under this agreement or any subsequent contract, and should any players recruited by Spradlin while employed at Morehead choose to attend Spradlin's new school, a reasonable fee will be established by Morehead State University and collected from Spradlin and or his new institution of employment to reclaim institutional funds spent to recruit said students. Think about that. We talk about players following their coach to their new destination. Well, Preston Spradlin signed a contract that said, if you leave while under contract and take any players with you, pay up. What about that?
I'm not mad at him. Here's the thing that mid-majors, non-power, what do you call it? Power 6 in basketball, right?
Yeah, just mid-majors, power 6, yeah.
Okay. Mid-majors, non-power 6, mid-tier, power 6, they've got to be wary of that. I think they have to understand. You can even look at it in football. Let's just even take, for example, what's happening to a team like Pittsburgh, who don't have the budgets, don't have probably the NIL that some of these other teams are going to have, but right. They're putting together good teams, good runs, they're coaching them up.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting them prepared for next level transitions.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, the kid, the young man performs, young woman, even in women's basketball. They perform, and then all of a sudden, they bolt for greener pastures, for green acres. If you know, you know. Green acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. There ain't out so far and wide. Give me that countryside. That's where they're going. All right? You didn't know I knew that, did you? Okay. Green acres, they're going for the money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine and dandy. You made whatever you did there. You got coached up by the team that prepared you for the next level, and then you bolt on them for greener pastures. I'm okay because that's part of economy. That's part of everyday living. But I like contracts.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I think NIL needs contracts.
Mm.
You put contracts on it. You make sure that people, if you decide to make a decision, maybe some of that cashola needs to come back. Maybe there's, a clause in it that you need to be on the field a certain amount of time. Just put some contract. I don't know how it goes.
Buy out your own contract.
Put something on it. buy your contract or have them buy it out. Oh, you want to go? Okay, USC, touch me with something. Let me feel that. Let me feel that paper in my hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I think sometimes needs to be done. And so I'm not mad at them because guess what? They're putting their recruiting dollars into it. You're able to go out and attain these players by way of our financials. We're already not one. We have to go out and play these games and
the buy games, guarantee games,
you know
like
what
Crutch
I'm saying?
was
We gotta
talking
go
about.
do all that stuff anyway. So yeah, if you're good enough and you win enough games, you are going to bolt. That's part of life, but I understand. Let me get some of that back. You know, and maybe in the negotiation process, they need to go to the next team and say, hey, this is part of my contract. Hey, can you negotiate that into the other contract and pay it out? They got more money.
Right.
Make it happen.
The amount per player is said to not exceed $4,000. But let's say he takes 3 players with him, he's going to owe $10,000, give or take, up to $12,000.
Yeah.
That's not nothing.
That's not
because
just real
again,
cash.
now that James Madison doesn't have money,
I can go down to Harrah's for that.
Have yourself a good time.
Go down to Vegas. Sit down on the table one time.
2 times?
2 times.
3 times?
On the roulette. I'm betting on black.
4 times?
No.
So probably not 5?
I go home. I might sit on the penny slots, maybe try to hit a jackpot, throw about 100 or so.
I do see you're wearing 21. I also know you're famous for wearing number 20. Blackjack's not your game?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm trying to land 21 though.
Yeah. Always.
I stay on 20, but I'm trying to hit the 21.
Hit 21.
Yeah.
I get you. He's Strick. I'm Austin. We'll keep talking some college hoops here on the other side. More Omaha Supernovas tickets to give away for tomorrow's game in hour 2. Come back with us on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations. Guess what?
What?
There's 5 Lincoln locations now. Oh my gosh. That's 25% more Lincoln locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th. Located right alongside 93.7 The Ticket Studios, 1040 O Street.
If you're looking for a pre-owned tractor to upgrade your operation this year, you'll find a wide selection at your local Landmark Implement. We'll work with you to find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. During the month of March, choose from a 6-month interest waiver or 4.5% fixed rate for up to 60 months on used 6M and R, 7R, 8R, or 9R tractors with approved credit. Visit landmarkimp.com to see our complete inventory or stop by your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Erick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Easter. They hope everyone is able to enjoy time with family and friends during this joyful celebration, as we remember what this day and weekend are all about. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Erick Services, your vending specialists here at Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Erick Services, on the air because they care.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card Spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry,
This deal ends soon.
see Home Club for details.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Although we can't control the air we breathe outside our home, we can make a healthy difference inside. And all it takes is a call to Bryant. With healthy air options, Bryant can help you eliminate allergens, odors, and harmful chemicals, all while controlling indoor humidity levels at the same time. If it's time for a breath of fresh air inside, it's time to call Bryant. Breathe easy, breathe healthy. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
High schoolers, unleash your creativity and learn about potential careers in broadcasting at the Digital Expressions Media Camp. Have fun, make friends, and get hands-on experience with video and radio production, June 9th through the 14th at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Scholarships are available from the Nebraska Broadcasters Association, and spots are limited. Learn more at digitalexpressionscamp.com. That's digitalexpressionscamp.com.
Happy hour.
How's life treating you, man?
Here's why the people don't really respond to your questions, Nick. Are we in the circle of truth? You really want to know why? Because the feeling when you ask those questions is not very genuine. You really don't care about our feelings. You only care about Nick.
You make me sound so bad.
It is. You really only care about Nick.
I do care.
No, you do not.
If I didn't care, I wouldn't ask you. You only ask that question because it seems nice.
And you want to look good on the street.
That's not it at all.
It makes you sound like a nice person. You don't care. You don't care how
You
many
really
it was.
That's cool.
Weekdays from 1 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome back to On the Block. He's Strick here and Austin Orman. We are on the block. We're going to get into some great conversation, continuation. It is Friday and it is Friday games in the NCAA tournament. We've got the second set that'll be going on. Those games will be Duke and Houston. We'll be taking on, or we'll be fighting it out at American Airlines Arena in Dallas, Texas.
Stricky's home.
Yeah, man, I'm a little disappointed I'm not down there for that one, but that's all good. The Cinderella group.
Can I ask you, how do you feel about Houston coming to Dallas?
That's all right. Texas, the Rangers went down to Houston, you know.
But, like, Houston is coming to your arena. Like, it's Houston, Strick. You're not a Houston guy.
But
You're a Dallas
SMU's
guy.
garbage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's nothing in Dallas that can fight right now, so we
TCU?
got to root for TCU garbage.
Nah, they made the tournament, Strick.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have Duke and Houston. We'll be taking on down at AAC. They'll be going and taking the floor at 8:39 Eastern tonight on CBS. And the Cinderella team of NC State and Big DJ Burns taking the floor against Marquette, the number 2 seed. They'll start at 6:09 on CBS as well. They're also at the AAC. Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. It'll be Purdue and Gonzaga starting at 6:30 on TBS and True TV. And finally, at 9:09, TBS True TV, Creighton and Tennessee will be jumping off. Let's start right there, Austin. We'll talk about the Creighton-Tennessee matchup, the 2-3 matchup there in the Midwest region. How do you feel about, Creighton's the adversity of Creighton last year, one shot away, one challenge away, a fingertip away from, breaking ground and going into the Final Four. Now they find themselves back at a Sweet 16 matchup with a very athletic, pretty solid Tennessee team out of the SEC. How do you think they fare out there in Detroit, Michigan at the Little Caesars Arena?
I hope poorly, but I'm just a hater. So Rick Barnes is my second best friend tonight, or I'm his second best friend tonight. Not a whole lot of love lost for Rocky Top, especially after how they honestly manhandled Duke last year, but please not Creighton. Not Creighton. Please end their season. I'm fascinated because this feels a little bit like last night's game between Illinois and Iowa State. Creighton known for the offense, known for being high flying. Tennessee known for the opposite, known for defense, very rugged. Both teams, unlike some other programs we've talked about this week, took steps to shore up their weaknesses. Still leaned into their strength. Creighton's still known for offense. Tennessee still known for defense, to the tune of Tennessee being the third best defense in the country, and Creighton being the 10th best offense in the country. They know what their strengths are, but Creighton has gotten down in the mud, defended a couple games, and won. And I think it's more than Kalkbrenner. I think Alexander's an okay enough defender, but they're at least trying. They're communicating a little better, giving more effort than years past.
And they're kind of not going with a lot of depth.
Not a lot
of depth, right? I mean, they're kind of just they're it kind of like they prepared them. A lot of people were giving Mac a little bit of trouble about not using the depth a little bit early, and now it's kind of working for them a little bit. They kind of know who they are, who they're going to go with, what their rotation schemes are.
Well, there's a sweet spot for a rotation. It's different for every team. Some guys, if they're going to play, as hard as they can, sometimes you need a lot of subs. But then, again, you've coached, you've talked guys through this. As a coach, there's only so many guys you trust. So it's use your minutes or lose them at this point right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not ever surprised when a coach tightens his rotation to the guys that he knows he can trust. Because if you can't trust someone, why would they be out on the floor in, every game from this point on is the most important game of your season.
Yeah.
You win, you keep playing, you lose it, you go home. So I think there's a role for like a Jason Green, maybe an Isaac Trout potentially, but those are still young guys that are growing in their roles. It's the starting five in Farabello, really, for me, that I trust for Creighton. Maybe Fred King backing up Kalkbrenner. But on the flip side of that, you have Tennessee, which also feels a little top-heavy to me. But one of these two teams is due for a breakthrough. Creighton, you mentioned their heartbreak. Tennessee's been upset. They've been bounced. I mean, still have to make a Final Four for the first time in school history. Both of these teams do as well. I don't know, Strick. I picked Creighton in one bracket. I picked Tennessee in the other bracket. If it goes like last night, Creighton wins this game close. But I think Tennessee is more offensively talented than Iowa State is by chance. And I also think Illinois is a better offensive team than Creighton. Creighton is a really good college basketball offense, but what Illinois is doing right now is NBA concepts, NBA style all over the floor. Shireman's good. He'll play in the NBA. Kalkbrenner might carve out a role. Alexander strikes me as a G League or Europe kind of guy. I'm not saying Illinois is NBA talent, but they're running NBA stuff the college isn't ready for.
Yeah.
I have a slight lean toward Tennessee in this matchup.
And so I picked actually Creighton in this matchup. And for me, it was just to see the matchup of Kalkbrenner, the two freaking, there's a movie out right now that I'm speculating on seeing. It's Godzilla and King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's two Goliaths, just two big bodies that I just, one is specialized in defense, one is super in offense, pretty good at defense as well. I just wanted to see them bang. You know, because a lot of teams, a lot of teams have matchup deficiencies against Purdue.
Oh yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
Kalkbrenner is not necessarily an offensive juggernaut, but he challenges everything. You go in there, you're kind of looking, where is he at?
Where's he coming from? Mm-hmm.
He's usually there at some point. And so I want to see that. I want to see that matchup and how they fare against it. And so that's why I think I chose Creighton.
Tennessee is not huge either. I mean, Kalkbrenner's the tallest player in this game that's going to see consistent minutes for my money. And Tennessee doesn't stretch the floor great, but again, it's better than years past. The matchup for me is Zakai Ziegler versus Stephen Ashworth. Ziegler's the little engine that makes Tennessee go. He got hurt last year, and that I think contributed to their early exit. Shireman's the best player. Alexander's an X factor. Kalkbrenner's the defensive anchor. But you can't let Stephen Ashworth get hot, because then if you have to play a step up on him, it makes stuff so much easier for everyone else. So I think we see a lot of Ziegler on Ashworth tonight.
There you go. That's the matchup that you're looking to possibly have there. Then let's move on. Let's go on to, as we were talking about, the Kalkbrenner and the possible Zach Edey matchup. It's been a while since we've probably seen Gonzaga down this far. Usually they're in anywhere between 1 and 3, usually. Now they find themselves as a 5 seed there in the Midwest region. They're going to be facing against Purdue. Now, I don't think that Gonzaga has a lot of the athletes that they've had in the past. I think they're still a solid basketball team. They're always going to be well coached. Purdue is going to need some step ups for some people, because I know that their staff is going to have Gonzaga well prepared, schemed up for Zach Edey. So they're going to need somebody to step up to open up that thing in the middle. Maybe some sets that are unusual that's not been scouted. They're definitely going to run their own stuff. They're like Utah Jazz to me. They're like, we're going to run this until you stop it type of person, type of team. So how do you see that matchup?
I see that one looking a lot like Alabama, Carolina. I think this is a high scoring matchup. These are, I think, 2 of the top 5 or 6 offenses left in the Sweet 16 entering yesterday. Both teams are incredibly efficient. Gonzaga has been the best offense in the sport over the last 3.5 weeks. Mark Few talked a couple weeks ago about improvement, how he faced a team at the beginning of conference play and then again at the end. And the other coach told him, yeah, I don't know why people were writing you guys off. You got better. That's what you did. No, Gonzaga didn't win some of the big early season games like it has in years past. Gonzaga got better, though. And that's commendable. I don't know if I fully trust Gonzaga. They clearly don't have the same ceiling to me, but they're putting the ball in the basket as good as anyone in the country is right now.
Yeah.
The problem is they're going against a team that can do the same thing in Purdue. This might be a who gets the ball last sort of situation, kind of like Alabama and North Carolina was last night. Edey, I don't know if this is a game for him, because I think Gonzaga is going to want to play fast. Purdue's going to try to slow it down to get Edey his looks, to get the best look possible. Whereas I think Gonzaga is more athletic than Purdue up and down the board. Not to the level they were, right? I'm not trying to refute your point, but relative to this matchup, Gonzaga is the faster team. And here's some lineup data for you, Strick. So Purdue's lineup of Braden Smith, Lance Jones, Fletcher Lawyer, Trey Kaufman-Wren, and Zach Edey has played 27 minutes in this tournament and has a net rating of plus 50.4. That's insane.
Sick.
Just 4 points behind them in 19 minutes. Nemhard, Hickman, Watson, Ike, and Greg for Gonzaga. I think Gonzaga is deeper. I think they play faster. If Gonzaga gets off to a hot start like Nebraska did against Purdue, I like the Zags' chances. But if Edey scores the first 6 points for Purdue and the Zags are down, 8 to 10 points, I think Purdue is efficient enough that they don't have to play stall ball. They can get into their sets, run it the way they want to, and still feel good about their chances. Not like they're just trying to milk the clock, but Purdue can work for good shots every time down, and Gonzaga hasn't provided much defensive resistance. I lean Purdue by probably, 5 or 6 in this one at the end of the day.
Well, what you have, though, is Purdue scores at a clip of 83.9 points per game, whereas Gonzaga only 68.8. there's a huge difference there. But there are a lot of things that they do share in, because Gonzaga does something that Purdue teams haven't seen, and that's shoot over 51%.
So well.
So they shoot the ball very well. That's something that Purdue hasn't really seen. That's 10 points more than what any team Purdue has faced this year has been able to do. So they're going to move it around. They're going to spread it around. They're definitely going to take advantage of Zach Edey in different situations to try to keep him away from that rim and possibly get him into foul trouble by attacking him. But rebounds-wise, there's not much difference there. There's not much difference in the assist numbers. They both have high assist numbers. Steals numbers are pretty comparable. But it's crazy that the Bulldogs block more shots. So, hey, there it is. It's a good matchup.
Let's go to the YouTube stream really quick here. Wade says, saw Kong and Godzilla yesterday. It was pretty awesome. Kong and Godzilla have to team up against Scar King. Normally, he doesn't enjoy 3D, but it was done pretty well. So there's your recommendation. Go see it.
I think, thanks, Wade. I'm definitely going to, W Wade.
I'm just calling him Wade. I see two U's.
Wade.
That's W. Wade.
I'm definitely going to check that out. I don't know if it'll be this weekend, but it's definitely going to get checked out. I was pretty interested in it. I liked how they put that together, how they faced off, but then they came together. And two juggernauts getting it on. I like that. That's what I want to see with Creighton and Purdue.
What's next? Where do you want to go?
Where we're going to go next? We're going to talk about the next matchup, which is pretty interesting to me. We're going to move over to Dallas and check that out a little bit and see what's going on in this matchup between North Carolina State and Marquette. In that game, North Carolina State and Marquette. In that game, obviously a dominating factor, a King Kong amongst men in
regular
this tournament.
gorillas.
The Zebo of the 2024 tournament, and that is DJ Burns taking on Marquette. Now, Marquette, I'm actually impressed and surprised by. I thought they probably would have made a little earlier exit, but I actually had them going this far, and in my bracket. I don't know how I believed in Purdue and Marquette. That was just something I didn't have going as deep as they are, but they're here. Does North Carolina State continue the run that they've been on? 5 games in the ACC tournament, and now another 3 in such a short span.
I
thought they would have fell apart in the second round.
I do too. I thought Texas Tech was tougher than that. North Carolina State absolutely out-toughed Texas Tech. 4 Supernovas tickets to give away for the first person in on the text line, 402-464-5685. Where did Tyler Kolek attend college before Marquette? That's the question for you, text line 402-464-5685. So, Strick, I threw up some of that lineup data to you about Gonzaga Purdue. What if I told you the best lineup in the NCAA tournament through the first 2 rounds belongs to Marquette?
Wow.
Stevie Mitchell, Tyler Kolek, Cam Jones, David Joplin, and Oso Ighodaro. Cam Jones has been on a burner. Been insane. Lighting it up from all 3 levels, taking some of the burden off of Kolek, who can score, but I think is at his best when he gets to distribute and then knock down open shots. Cam Jones can take you off the dribble. Ighodaro.
He's a double-double as far as getting numbers and assists.
Yeah.
Kolek, yeah.
Kolek with points, assists. Ighodaro with points and rebounds. Athletic dude, can pass the ball pretty well. Not super stretchy, but enough from the elbow. Relentless as well. The offense doesn't surprise me. Marquette has a 152.4 offensive rating in the NCAA tournament. Their defensive rating, though, 83. Marquette, I don't think of them as a good defensive team, but they've been good enough to this point. I still don't know what to make of North Carolina State. I still don't know what it is they do well. Not a great shooting team, not a great rebounding team. They're just vibes champs right now with DJ Burns, DJ Horn as well.
Burns shooting 40% from 3.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. A guy that can take you down, Debo you, and take your chain like Debo on Friday, and then go out there and give you eyeball sandwiches from 3. Dangerous.
Yeah.
If he keeps that up.
One of their players, Mo Diarra, is fasting for Ramadan right now in the middle of the NCAA tournament. He's playing really well. This is where I think the run comes to the end for North Carolina State. Yeah, I'm picking with my heart. I don't want North Carolina State to make it through to the next round, but I've been impressed with Marquette, the way they've picked up the defense. Kolek is back and healthy. Iguodaro seems to be full go. And I lean Marquette in this one straight.
There it is. Lastly, out there in Dallas, it is the 1-4 matchup. The Houston Cougars will take on the Duke Blue Devils, which is my guy Austin representing right now at this point. And they're going to face off at the AAC at 9:39 Eastern Standard Time. And here's the deal. Houston is one of those teams that you just, they're dangerous. They're super athletic. They're going to get after you defensively. There's so many different things that they do. It's not like they shoot the ball extremely well by any means, but they do so many other things that they're always going to challenge you. They're going to be in your face. They're going to attack you. So right now, how do you see this matchup going? Because, Duke can get on a burner.
Mm-hmm.
They can play extremely well, look very dominant, but then there's times where they look very vulnerable. So is it one of those things where it's kind of like who's hot and who's not, or is it just something where it's going to be a knockdown drag out?
Do you want my Duke fan perspective or my basketball analysis perspective?
Your basketball analysis first.
Okay. Basketball analysis tells me Houston is tough as nails and they defend. Number 2 defense in the country, only lost that spot in the Big 12 championship game against Iowa State. LJ Cryer won a title at Baylor. He's the leading scorer on this team, shooting 87% at the free throw line, 39% from 3.
Mm-hmm.
Jamal Shedd doesn't shoot it nearly as well, but he's the go-to guy in the crunch. Houston went to him the whole time down the stretch against A&M in overtime. They slowed it down, said, Jamal, go get us a bucket, and he did. Oh, and they both defend. You can't play for Kelvin Sampson if you don't. You look at a guy like Emmanuel Sharp, who shoots it at 37%. Good guard, forward, kind of hybrid in between there. Houston's not huge. They rebound okay for being small, but Duke has a distinct height advantage. Mm-hmm. The key to this game, for me, is Kyle Filipowski. Houston is going to dare him to beat them from 3. Filipowski will throw up some 2 for 9s, 0 for 7s, 1 for 6s from 3-point range. And if that happens, Houston says, thank you very much, Elite 8, here we come. Now, Filipowski can also go 4 for 5. Stretch Houston's defense a little bit. The worry for me is that Filipowski makes his first 3 and sits out there the whole game. Because if he goes down to the block and shoots, 55%, 60% on 2s, he can dominate the interior. Sean Stewart, backup big, I think is athletic enough to have a switchable role on the perimeter against these guys for Duke defensively. Guards go in favor of Houston, though. Jeremy Roach had his run in the tournament 2 years ago. He's good. He's been around the block. He's experienced, but Tyrese Proctor hasn't lived up to the billing. McCain's been good, but he's also had games where he's disappeared just by function. He can be assertive, but he's not always. And Mark Mitchell's the other X factor for me. He isn't as thick as Houston's guys, so maybe Houston attacks him. Maybe Duke puts him on a Shedd or a Cryer for a while for a little bit more length. But Mitchell's another guy that is a streaky shooter. If he reaches 10 points, Duke's pretty good. If Duke, assists on half of their buckets, they're pretty good. Houston is so tough. They don't let you get to the middle. They're athletic enough to block shots to some degree. And even though they foul, that's not a huge advantage for Duke. Even though Duke's deeper, they're not the best free throw shooting team. So I trust Duke's front court more. I trust Houston's guards more. But Strick, we know you're all about mindset, about being a dog, not being afraid to get down and dirty. The final regular season game of the year, Duke had a chance to split the ACC title with North Carolina and got run over, got walked right through. First game in the ACC tournament, North Carolina State, who Duke went on the road and beat. Didn't have many issues with them. Close enough game, but Duke said it lacked competitive fire. If you're still having players-only meetings and one-on-one meetings with your head coach about competitive fire and toughness against your 2 biggest rivals, with your conference title on the line and in your conference tournament, with a top 3 seed still in play, that's a problem. That's a problem. So as much as I can see the path for Duke in a basketball sense, in a matchup sort of, player to player, lens, the one thing we'll never question about Houston is its toughness. And Houston's been here, done that before. I'm going with Houston to win this game.
There it is. Either we're going to have Houston, we have a problem as they're flying into space trying to move on to the Elite Eight, or the Dukies are going to be in trouble because they're just going to get ran over, or it's going to be close. I don't know.
Okay. Sorry. Final point.
Yeah.
I don't think Duke gets run over.
Oh, I like that.
While I think it is a distinct possibility, Duke really hasn't been blown out necessarily, especially against like elite competition. So let's just go through this. They played Arizona, lost by 5. At Arkansas, in Arkansas Super Bowl, shouldn't have lost that game, but lost it by 5 and that you didn't play your best. Georgia Tech, I think they were down a starter, lost by 4. Pittsburgh, down 2 starters, lost by 4. Carolina, lost by 9 the first time. Wake Forest, NIT team, NCAA bubble team, lost by 4 on the road. And then at home against Carolina, again, didn't play well, didn't show up with competitive fire, but lost by 5. As frustrating as this Duke team has been to watch as a fan, like, maybe that's the most frustrating part, is if you're not going to play well, just get run out of the gym. Make it easy. It wasn't our night. But they're so close, tantalizingly so, to where it's like, guys, you can't be 1 or 2 possessions better. You can't die for 1 or 2 loose balls and change this game. So
if they flip the switch and they really just get it, they have a chance to really do something. But I understand you think still that Houston may be a little bit more in this game.
I think Duke is a really good team, but they've lacked something in the games they've played against elite competition this year. What it is changes game to game. I don't know can't put my finger on it, but Duke has just consistently been 2 possessions worse than the best teams on its schedule.
There it is. There's a little breakdown of the night's games. We're going to be watching. We hope that you're watching. 402-464-5685 if you want to continue to join in the conversation. But we're going to get out of here right now for a quick break, and we're going to come back and have a little bit of an NBA shoot-around. It's coming down to the wire. Teams are either going to be in or teams are going to be out. Either they're going to be Steph Curry sleeping, or they're going to be high-fiving and running buck wild through the playoffs as they get the play-in games to see who's going to fight it out for the NBA championship. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Spring is on its way. Are you prepared to keep the grass greener on your side? Blades Lawn and Landscape has a position opened at a homeowner association to their client list, with residential and commercial openings also. Transform your yard into a private oasis with the professional services offered by Blades Lawn and Landscape, including landscape walls and beds and a 5-step fertilizer program applied by a licensed professional. Call them today at 402-730-6320 or go to bladeslcc.com to schedule a free estimate on commercial or residential lawn services.
Hi, folks. Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and the Chevrolet and GMC Truck Month is now underway. We've got huge savings in Louisville. Get $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months on select models. Yes, you heard right. That's $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months happening right now at Coppell. So take that short money saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at coppellcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit. Stock number G214773.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Although we can't control the air we breathe outside our home, we can make a healthy difference inside. And all it takes is a call to Bryant. With healthy air options, Bryant can help you eliminate allergens, odors, and harmful chemicals, all while controlling indoor humidity levels at the same time. If it's time for a breath of fresh air inside, it's time to call Bryant. Breathe easy, breathe healthy. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
Are you working in
or looking to get into the electrical construction industry. The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Mosaic is a nonprofit, whole-person healthcare organization that embraces God's call and relentlessly pursues opportunities that empower people with diverse needs to live their best lives. Mosaic in Southeast Nebraska, serving Lincoln and Beatrice, would like to invite you to their monthly Discover the Possibilities tour events. Events are held on the third Wednesday of every month and are a great way to understand Mosaic's mission. To RSVP, please contact Melindy at 402-429-0088 or visit mosaicinfo.org/Southeast Nebraska.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry.
This deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Still talking hoops, moving on to the NBA here in hour number 2 of On the Block. Austin Norman, 9-year NBA vet Erick Strickland. Strickland? My bad, Stricky.
Yeah, Strickland. That's it.
That's our
Call me
name.
Strickman.
Our show is Strickman. Strickman, yeah. You are the man. Let's get into the NBA, but first I want to thank our friends at Good Sense.
Yeah.
Good Sense Friday. They come through for us every Friday. I get the Penny Club.
It's
all
the
the
turkey.
meats, the cheeses. Ooh, turkey for Stricky?
Yeah, turkey for Stricky.
Ooh, okay.
The Penny Club?
Okay.
Tell me about it.
It's
Might
ham,
try it.
roast beef, turkey.
Oh.
I just get cheese and lettuce. Call it good.
Yeah, man. It's not, keep it simplified. Keep it stupid. I just want the little bit of, the turkey and the lettuce, and I don't put all the extras on it. Let me just throw my own mustard on it when I throw it, and then let's roll out. But yeah, Good Sense takes good care of us, man. We appreciate them and their continued support here on 93.7 Ticket as well.
5 Lincoln locations for you. Check them out today. Let's get into the NBA here, Strick. The 1 seed in the East is pretty well set. Boston has an 11-game lead over Milwaukee. Let's talk about the bottom half, though. Not nearly as much intrigue in the East as in the West, but the 6-7 matchup here between the Pacers and the Heat is interesting. I think you can even throw, Cleveland, Orlando. They look a little safer than say, Indiana there, but most of these teams have 9, maybe 10 games to play. Cleveland has a 1.5 lead on Orlando for home court in the 4-5. Cleveland is 3.5 games up on Indiana, and then 4.5 games up on Miami. That middle of the East is so jumbled together, and there's a lot of teams that I think are so matchup dependent.
Yeah, and that is the case. And so when there's a lot of things that can still transpire towards the bottom end of this. I mean, what they have left on their schedule is what we want to take a look at for the Orlando Magic, because they're at a 2-game losing streak right now, right? So they still have to go against LA Clippers, who have something to fight for. Obviously, Memphis is struggling. They're not, pretty much in anything. Portland's not in anything. So those are games that you got to put in the bank right now. If you want to solidify the position, those are the ones you're at home for your next 3. You've on a 2-game losing streak to which you've lost to Golden State and Sacramento. Tough losses for you. That's not what you want to do, but ultimately that's what you came up. You had teams out of the West. They came in and broke you down at home. You missed the opportunity there. But you're on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-day, 8-game home streak to which you've dropped 2 of your last ones. It's kind of sometimes you just get complacent. You've been at home for a long time, and you need to solidify these next 3. Then you go on the road, who New Orleans is absolutely playing phenomenal right now. That's dangerous. Charlotte, I think they pretty much said they're gone fishing. They're down in Acapulco somewhere on an island. Chicago is kind of still in the mix. So you're going to have to battle that out, but you get them at home. Then you're fighting against a 10-game winning streak Houston. At Houston. You finish up with Milwaukee, Philly, who's fighting for their life, and then Milwaukee. So that's what you're finishing. If you don't go bank these games now, you could find yourself in the play-in tournament.
Yeah, very easily. I'm glad you brought up Philly. That's another team that caught my eye. I feel like we haven't heard as much about them, and I think that's because they're very mid. So average this year, Stricky. They're in the 8th spot.
They freaking lost Joel Embiid.
And
that shows the importance of what Joel Embiid has been for this team. He's gone down, and you found them dropping from a top 3 team in the East down all the way down to almost a play-in or a play-out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they looked really good last night, but at the same time, it's still something to kind of monitor, to keep your eye on. I think you're really getting to understand a little bit more of what Tyrese Maxey is to the team.
Did you like
guys? When I used to ref him, I thought he was pretty solid. He was at South Garland when I used to referee down there in Dallas. I thought he was a solid player. I thought he had a chance to do that. I'm actually quite impressed that he's really taken his game to a whole nother level. You knew he had the tangibles to do some stuff, but I didn't expect it to be that soon, that he was able to emerge the way that he is. Now, what they're going to need Tobias Harris is going to have to step up. They're going to need, the continuation of a 3-and-D guy out of Kelly Oubre. They're going to need him to step up.
You saw Oubre pointing at the refs the other day?
Oh, saying they're on the take?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that was bad.
Yeah.
It was funny, but it was bad.
Yeah. And it's just really, other than that, it's sad in the East, but Brooklyn's on a 2-game winning streak to where they're trying to fight for their lives. But then when you look at, we're not in the East. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
But as we look down the line, what is Chicago trying to do? What is the Hawks trying to do? Hawks are in a situation to me where I think there's still a little enough turmoil for them to go on a lose streak. When you look at what they have coming up to finish out their season, the Hawks is something to worry about. I mean, they had a big win against Golden State recently.
They beat Boston last night on buzzer beater from DeJounte.
Yeah. Big win, and that's 4 straight. So, but guess where they're at? Home.
10th.
Take care of home. You got another one against the Milwaukee team. Then you got now the team that's chasing you down. You know Chicago. They're right there with you. They're not chasing you down, but they're right there with you. You were really trying to catch up with them. But then a bad Detroit team going on the road against 2 of the best in the West, Dallas and Denver, the double Ds. Miami solid. another win against, but then you finish off with Minnesota and then an okay Indiana team, but all of that is on the road. So a lot of your games are coming up out of on the road. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 of your next 9 are on the road. So you better put it in the bank, because otherwise you can run off a little streak and fall short there and find yourself out as well. Now Brooklyn can emerge. So that's the thing to watch. You got a little bit of buffer with them right now. You go ahead and win at least 5 of your next 10. You can kind of pretty much end it for them. Yeah.
The buffer is completely gone for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
You mentioned Houston, Stricky, 10 in a row. 10 in a row for the Rockets of all teams. They find themselves just 1 game back of the Golden State Warriors, who are in a fight with Los Angeles and Sacramento. Even throw Phoenix in that mix there. The bottom of the West.
Yeah.
Whew, that's going to be fun down the stretch.
Yeah, it's going to be jumbled up. It's kind of crazy that in the West, it's jumbled up from the top to the bottom. I mean, you just don't know where you're going to land. Oklahoma City has definitely been a surprise this year, the way that they've played as a unit, and so many resources still left that they've got so many angles, so many ways to approach. They want to move up. They want to move down. If they want to add a piece, and if I'm them, I'm looking to maybe throw some resources out there, kind of get up there, get another piece that kind of gets into that cycle where you got another 4 or 5 years with that guy. I'm sure they're going to try to get rid of the young Aussie,
Giddey.
They're probably going to try to move Giddey if they can. He just really doesn't fit. I think he shrinks the floor for them because of just hasn't been able to expand his range.
Yeah.
So I think that's a one that they're going to try to move on from. But you still got to look at the champions, the Nuggets, and whoa, Minnesota has figured it out. Minnesota's playing some great ball as well. The Pelicans are emerging. Watch out for the Pelicans, man. The Pelicans are playing great ball. Mavs are balling out right now. Yeah. 9 of their last 10. I think that Luka and Kyrie situation, they figured out. I think Lively's been a great addition for them, giving them that Chandler.
Did someone tell you
dynamic.
about that before the year?
I mean,
did someone mention that before the year?
You did. I felt that was a good draft for him too. I really did. I thought that getting that Chandler vibe, a young kind of DeAndre Jordan type vibe, you get it. I mean, there was one game I think they had 19. They had an organization, a franchise record of 19 dunks. 19 dunks in a game. Yeah. I mean, it was Lob City, Dunk City over there. So that's something to watch out for them. But Golden State, there's frustration probably there. That listen, he's got a lot of load to carry. Steph is carrying a lot of load there, but Houston's knocking on the door, baby. They're knocking on the door, trying to say, "Let me in."
Did you see this coming from Houston? Or are they a year ahead of schedule? 2 years?
I think they're a year ahead of schedule. Austin. I mean, I would say, listen, they found something in Sengun, even though there was injuries for him, but they found something in him. They were able to rattle off a lot.
Almost.
Then they had the trouble with a young fella that got into the domestic violence.
Oh, Porter Jr.
Porter Jr. I think getting rid of Porter Jr. took away a lot of the immaturity and allowed Jalen Green to kind of coaching, Ime coming over and coaching that team. I always said that's what they needed. I thought it would take a year to really kind of shape and mold the team, get their character right. But they're ahead of schedule for me. They're right there knocking on the door, man. And listen, Los Angeles better step it up. Who does Los Angeles got coming down the stretch? Let's find out. This is the key for me, because listen, the refs are going to try to figure out a way to get the Lakers in. I don't care what they say. This is a money deal, but they've got their next 4 games. They won on the road. They beat Milwaukee in overtime. Big win. Memphis was not a big win for them, but they're going to get Indiana, Brooklyn. Brooklyn's fighting for their life. Toronto. So this is an easy road schedule for them to rattle off some games before they come and get Cleveland, then Golden State, who's going to be wanting to get that one. And then they're going to get the Pelicans and another opportunity at the mid. So they've got a chance to lock themselves in, with an easy road schedule. They just got to go on the road, stay focused, and they'll be fine.
The other team I want your thoughts on here before we bring Jay in for the crossover, Phoenix. They're at 43-30, just a half game ahead of Sacramento at 42-30. Are the Suns a legit playoff contender? Do you take them seriously in the West, or are they just kind of too top heavy for you to trust them throughout a 7-game series?
I still don't trust the Suns.
Is it the Arizona in them?
I think it's the Kevin Durant in him.
Ooh.
Like, Booker had that one situation when his girlfriend broke up with him. And listen, that can happen to anybody.
Sounds like someone who's been through it.
We're just going to leave that alone. But, they dealt with injuries on both sides. They never really had, but now they're kind of all pretty much together. I just don't know if that dynamic works. I don't think they have somebody inside that can handle some of the top heavy teams. Like,
not a Nurkic guy?
Yeah, I'm not a big Nurkic fan. I think he's okay, but I just don't think fighting against the Denver, fighting against even the Timberwolves, and definitely against the Chet Holmgren, I just don't believe that them against the top tier teams is gonna be something in which they could battle.
Yeah, their interior depth is not much. Mentioned Nurkic, Royce O'Neal, Bull, inconsistent, and Drew Eubanks.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, there you go. That's why I just don't think that. I mean, look, they can win games, they can do some things. I just still don't believe. I just don't believe.
9 or 10 games left for most of these teams here. We'll keep monitoring the playoff picture down the stretch over the next week or two. NBA playoffs are right around the corner. Also right around the corner, the crossover. DP and J on Old School hop in. We'll finish out on the block with them next. NIPCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NIPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NIPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies. It will be very mild. Afternoon high expected around 70. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with an overnight low around 35. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies return. A little cooler, though. See a high around 58. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit. Update your info with LES. And if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
The Stars are home this weekend for a pair of pivotal Western Conference games. It all begins on Friday night as the Sioux Falls Stampede come to town for a 7:05 p.m. puck drop. Don't miss Down Syndrome Night the next day on Saturday, with the action getting started at 6:05. Haven't been out to a Stars game yet this season? Don't miss out, because only 3 weeks are left in the regular season. Tickets are available at LincolnStars.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through April 2nd is buy one, get one free on 8-ounce flat iron steaks. Limit 4 per visit. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Locations on 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Stars are home this weekend for a pair of pivotal Western Conference games. It all begins on Friday night as the Sioux Falls Stampede come to town for a 7:05 p.m. puck drop. Don't miss Down Syndrome Night the next day on Saturday with the action getting started at 6:05. Haven't been out to a Stars game yet this season? Don't miss out because only 3 weeks are left in the regular season. Tickets are available at LincolnStars.com.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
If I'm going to watch a man run around, I want to see him run around in tights, in shoulder pads, in helmet, mouthpieces, head, gritting their teeth, squinting their eyes, some people closing their eyes, and smashing into each other. That's what I want to see. That's football. That's football. That's football. Don't nobody want to see no we shall overcome type football. They want to see some rock'em sock'em hit you in the mouth football box. Exciting football.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
I think about all the infrastructure that got built up behind the scenes by Coach Osborne, that Coach Solich took over, and then some of that infrastructure was eroded. Matt Rule still has to prove this, but I think Matt Rule's style is that, yeah, he'd like the infrastructure in place, but I think Matt Rule has the personality to do everything in his power to bend it to the way he wants it.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Let's wrap it up here during On the Block. Austin Norman and Erick Strickland with you, joined now by Jay Foreman. Jay, welcome in. Happy
What's
Friday.
happening?
Just got done talking some NBA. Wade on YouTube, we see you. Wade says, go Nuggets. Don't know if that's a popular opinion in this room, but congratulations on your Nuggets fandom and championship last year. I want to go back to a conversation that Strick and I had, Jay, because I think you're a good person to get your input on this. Our last segment of hour one was looking at the college basketball transfer portal, kind of. So James Madison hired away Morehead State's head coach. Both those teams made the NCAA tournament. But in Preston Spradlin, that's the coach's name, his contract at Morehead State said if he takes another job while he's under contract with Morehead and takes players with him, he might have to pay, or the school that hires him might have to pay up to $4,000 per player that comes with him from Morehead to James Madison. What do you think about that?
Well, that's the first I've ever heard of a contract like that.
I said I liked it.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, but see, when you level up or go to a bigger school, and you bring, I mean, that's who get it the most in this transfer portal, because that's what these coaches are wanted, both in football and basketball. So you have a good program, you start to take some of those players away from you, and it's harder for them to recover and rebuild because they got to develop the players to where they're at when they're appealing to bigger colleges. You know what? I don't mind it. I mean, I look at it like this. If you're going from, like anywhere, from you go from an assistant coach to a head coach, or a head coach at one smaller school to, a major or a Power 5 or just a bigger school, they're paying you for your ability to survive. And I think it will help out, like Rick Pitino's case, right? Whereas you might not lose Barr or somebody to Wisconsin because he just came in and didn't even really, he's an all-conference player pretty much as a freshman or close to it, honorable mention or something like that. But you could see he has next level talent. Well, he just came in and said, none of you guys can play. I'm just going to start over. Well, you can't do that if you can't go in there and have 13 options in the portal or whatever their scholarship count is. And that's the same thing in this case. It's very unique in doing so.
I think it makes sense for a smaller school to have that in the contract because they aren't making nearly as much money. Yeah, Morehead gets a tournament unit for making it and, pushing Illinois through the first 15 minutes of that game. But I can't see that ever getting written into a Power 6 coach's contract. No. But a school like Morehead in the Ohio Valley I wouldn't be surprised to
them
see this
should.
become more mainstream. And just because it is time, it is money, it is an investment these schools are making.
Yeah.
I can understand why they'd want a little something back for that.
I mean, even look at we'll talk about the, Alabama beating North Carolina last night. Well, Nelson, I think he's at North Dakota State.
He was.
And so even you go
Devils
from
Lake High School.
You're right. And so you go from that school to a Power 5. I understand that you can recruit, even if it's in, that money goes back into recruiting another player or players or into your basketball athletic budget. I get it. And you know what it reminds me of? I love European soccer. Probably because I couldn't play soccer a lick. And I mean, I could play, but I look, a great game for me can't be winning 1-0 or 2-1.
Amen, brother.
We got
tackling's not the same in soccer.
Yeah, but it's a physical game. But that's the way it is with the transfer fees and all this other stuff. That's what happens. And so, look, man, I keep saying it and keep saying it, and I'll keep saying it because I know it's coming. I've heard from very good sources that it's coming. It's coming, I think, faster than I can imagine. College sports, and especially the big ones, are professional sports. I've been saying it probably also for 2 years. It's the truth. And in the pro sports or the professionals are entertainment. Everything they do is for entertainment. The way that they set the games up, the game times, the times of the year, the Christmas Day games, the Thanksgiving games. It used to be
NFL's playing on Wednesday,
right?
To play on Christmas,
right? You will break all the rules possible. Player safety is number one, right?
No.
And we got another game. You don't have as good as training camp, less coaching, but you're going to play on 2 days rest, in a combat sport. But back to it. I mean, this is the way it's going, and I like it though because then I always feel like, when you look at coaches, right? They're all kind of like one big kind of, I guess you could say, good old boys club, but they're tight knit guys. Everybody knows the type of time and energy and passion that they put into it. Most of them that really love the coach, and that's all levels. But then as a coach, you should protect, right? So if Strick's from, just say, Nebraska, and I'm coaching at Wayne State, right? I work just as hard. I'm not compensated enough. I'm taking buses and cars to go there. He's on a jet to go recruit. Well, then you look at it and then you're thinking, okay, well, how bad do you want Austin Orman to come to play for you at Nebraska? And it's not, and I think it should just be a base fee, based on where you're, what level you're going up. I do think that. And also the big dogs got to pay for it. And that's the way it goes. And I will say this, if it does become more readily happening, whatever fee you have to pay shouldn't have any bearing on their NIL compensation and stuff like that. You can't be like, oh, well, I had to pay $50,000 for you to get here, so now you get $5.
Right.
You got to pay to play, and it might be just something as simple of $4,000. It could be $10,000. It could be something like that.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID real quick here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
I love this conversation with both of you because you saw both the collegiate and professional ranks. So, Strick, I'll start with you. Did your college experience feel professional? Even if you handled it like a professional in your attitude and mindset, did the business around it, the travel, the games, the environment, did it feel professional, or was there a change from, playing in college to playing in the NBA?
I would say back then, no, it felt like a distinction. It felt like a distinction. It felt like it was a preparation for it. You know what I'm saying? It didn't feel like it was it. It felt like it was preparation. It felt like everything that I was learning as far as in school, it was all like applicable for prep to go to the next level. Even the class, like just becoming a man and growing and taking care of your own bills, handling stuff, but also handling the work. It wasn't like it was the business aspect of what it was at the league at that time. I think more like what Jay says, I think more of it now is that way as opposed to when it was back in the day.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think obviously with the rules, you essentially were locked in. They owned you in a lot of ways. I think I don't even know when Strick graduated, you could even get a summer job. I think.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Right?
I mean,
So
I was
it
a little bit different because, the baseball.
But no, I'm just saying here.
Yeah, no, you
like
couldn't.
they just passed the rule that you could get a summer job. I think I might have been in my junior year of college. That's only a year. And, and it was, nobody knew what to do if it, rules and how much you can really make. You can make some extra cash, but in the summer, you still got to go, check in. And now that's where it gets you prepped for that as well. Like Strick was saying, the one thing I would say that I felt like was close to professional is the way, granted, I was blessed to be here during the domination of what we were doing, and we were at the top. So was the way we traveled, who traveled with us, the pressure, the, getting on a bus and having the police escort and all that, that wasn't a big deal. And the only reason I was saying, I always talk about my man, Bobby Collins. I call him Bobby Boucher from Buffalo. We were the same draft class. He was from I don't even know if he played at North Alabama. I got to find out where he's from. My man he thought Buffalo was like New York City. And he didn't even know that we flew to games and had police escorts and stuff like that. So that takes somebody from that school.
He did go to North Alabama.
North Alabama, right? That's because I was asking where is that, and then he said North Alabama. Well, what's the name of it? Bobby was always cool, but the thing is sometimes those type of situations that's probably second nature to us, Strick. And you playing professional baseball and being grinding and all. Like somebody that gets to the NBA or something like that don't understand the type of work ethic and sacrifice, that can derail your whole career.
Yeah.
Let alone it takes you a little while to adjust. Now, it's all good things when you have police escorts to the game, but that's the only thing I would say that's close to professional. Now, these guys got everything to do as professionals. You know what I mean? These guys are, we had to, I can't speak for Strick. When I came on campus, the biggest thing they wanted us to go and be a Nebraska resident, get your license and everything like that. And we had to live in the dorms for a whole year.
Yeah, we did too.
Right. Okay. So that was right.
That was a thing.
So
was that an athletic department thing or your coaches thing?
Oh, I think it was an overall campus thing. The first year you had to live
freshman. But so then they stair stepped you. Then you had 3 or 4 roommates and all that. And I would have been fine staying in the dorms for another year just because of dealing with starting on football, still school, learning how to just deal with the pressure of playing and my own expectations. But you're out on your own. Now these kids, they got we passed down there where they're living, they're renting right from the get go. They're not living in the dorms. Most of them athletes, so they're paying rent, and I'm sure if it's scholarships and a little package for you, but still bills, all that stuff, cars. Like I can't speak for Strick. I didn't have a car in my first year. My dad was like, "Yeah, Strick, I know. I think
weird volley come through or something."
Hey, listen, Strick. Here, you want to hear something about Strick and these basketball players? This is why I was like, man, I used to have to tighten some of them dudes up, man. So I was in Able dorms.
I lived in Sandos, right there with you.
Listen, and walking to the state.
Shout out 6th floor Able.
But walking to the stadium and training table, that hawk is coming in your face. And
I had to walk to the Vanny.
No, listen to the story here. This has to do with you and you basketball players. That's why we had to hem you guys up sometimes. Mikey Moore and all that. They see us walking. It's me, Ruck, Trey Creighton. Trey ain't even got no hat. I gave him my hat. He ain't got no gloves. Face red is Strick's hat. They pull up next to us, man, right when we passing that frat house there. And once you get past there, beep, beep. Hit the deuces on us. Didn't he let us get in?
Cap. Major cap. I was a little bit different. I was nice.
Nice with it.
I was nice. I was a gentleman. But because they got all the good food. Yeah, y'all didn't say true.
Okay.
Y'all got the steak.
Okay.
Look, they
now we got to go. Now we're cooking.
Hold on.
Unless the football team.
Hold on. That was just 1 year, but you guys had it.
You got
too.
meatloaf. Jay got steak.
Listen.
Yeah.
No.
The grinded meatloaf where they took the extras.
That's cap. That's straight up. I don't even say like cap, but he lying. Here's what happened. The first year we won, we didn't get we didn't upgrade. We was just regular old training table. Then we started to get, like some stuff and steaks. So the basketball players, they ain't got them dudes ain't never had to put on no weight or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But they like Winnie the Pooh when they smell the honey all the way from Devaney. All of a sudden you see Strick, you see Andy Markowski, you start to see Vincent Hamilton, Mikey Moore. They made sure they was at the training table when them steaks was in. And then here's the thing. Here's the best part, man. With my man Bernard Gardner, my man had 2 big old steaks.
B was a big boy.
Yeah, but he had 2 big old steaks. You know what I mean? He got to come and get them. He's like, man, I need 2 of these.
They used to literally, Austin, block off certain things. They like, nah, that's for the football team.
We got to replenish.
Dang.
They did us like that, bro. I was like, dang, can I get it? They
Almost made you want to play
open
football.
up the training table on the weekend for them. We had to take scraps. We had to go try to get Domino's pizza.
The death discs?
Man, we had to get it. Ramen noodles and Domino's pizza. We had to try to figure it out. They got weekend training table. We didn't. Yeah, we weird. They were special, my boy.
Weekend training table. We only got it when we was practicing.
You see how they do us? You know what I'm saying? I know that didn't happen at Duke, but I know that's how they did us.
We got the idea from Duke. One of my friends played at Duke. My man Billy Dollar Bill Granville. Hey, Dollar Bill Granville Jr. is a five-star defensive end from H-Town. His dad, Dollar Bill, ruthless. Went to Duke. He said that they used to have crab legs.
Oh my God!
He was there.
See, that's that bougie stuff.
He said, he said, and then like when Grant Hill came back, he said it was like he said they were garbage, right? They weren't good. He said, boy, they laid it out.
Oh yeah.
That's crab legs, lobster, and everything. Them Dookies.
Nice and blue collar. Look at that. See, my collar is blue.
Not
so
blue collar.
We're gonna see tonight. The H-Town about to dig off in him.
We'll see it. Stricky, have yourself a good weekend.
You too, my boy.
Old School, DP and J, coming up next. Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
The Omaha Supernovas are back in action this Saturday, March 30th versus the Vegas Thrill at CHI Health Center in Omaha. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pearson and Renee Saunders starts at 5 p.m. with first serve at 6. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the